Hello everyone, welcome back. So we'll continue with our SSH session. In this tutorial, we are going to see how we can log in with a root user without an password. So when we say without an password, that means passwordless. All right. So we have here two systems. One is a slave, another one is client, and at both places we have root, right? So we'll say the IPRL, and this IP is 100 and 0.4, and it's 0.3. Now if we want to access by the name like slave, so we have to make the entry. So I will just become a root sudo -su, and we'll say here vi /etc/host, right? So there is a file called as host, and we'll come here at the new line. All right, at here we'll define the IP of that machine, that is 10.0.0.4 tab, and we'll here give slave. That's it. And same way here we'll go and will become a root sudo su hyphen, and we'll say vi/etc/hosts, right? And we'll come here and we'll say 10.0.0.3, and we'll say client 2. That's it. All right. Now from here we'll check whether it's resolving or not. We'll ping and we'll say slave. So what it says, could not resolve the name. So let's read our file. It's set properly. Okay, here is a typo. Slave is SLA, and in the file it's typo. So let's update it. Now it seems correct, right? Now it's taking the name, and same way here if we ping by the name, so it's working, right? Now what is our aim in this session is to get login on both server without an password. So this machine should log in on slave machine without an password, and vice versa. Let's example SSH root @slave, right? Here it will say yes, and asking for password. So if I type the password, and basically we don't know the password, right? So in that case, how will work? So what we'll do, we'll generate a key for the root. So we'll say SSH hyphen keygen. All right, and we'll hit enter. So we'll not read passphrase. There is already key. Do you want to overwrite? Yes. And passphrase no generated, right? So here we got an key for our root user, that is id underscore rsa. We got, right? Now this id underscore rsa is our private key. To log in on target server, as we know, we need to copy our public key. So let's copy that, SSH hyphen copy hyphen id, and we'll give the root @ and slave. So it's asking for password. We don't know the password. So let's first reset the password of root. So we'll say passwd root. So please make a note where we are resetting. We are resetting on target machine, right? Now we'll come here. We'll enter our password, and our key got added, right? Now if we do SSH slave we got an access, right? So it not ask anything, just will say here this by default. What it's doing by default, it's just doing SSH ID underscore RSA. It's using this key to get inside on the target server. Why? The reason behind it is we have copied our public key on the slave machine. Now if slave want to access the client machine, so 10.0.0.3 is a client IP address, or we can simply say the name because we have added in the local resolver, that is host 5. All right, client to at root at, right? Username is root at client 2. That's it. Now we'll say yes here, and I will also show you how to disable this yes and no. Maybe in script you are writing, that will be very difficult to track this. So in that case, we can ignore this. All right. So here asking password. So we don't know the password. Let's set the password on this machine also for the root. Pass wd root. If we not give root username, that's also fine because it changed the password for current user, and our current user is root. Now let's cancel it and try to again access with password. You got an access, right? Now if we go here and copy our public key, right, inside this directory, then our job is done, right? So as of now, authorized key is not there, right? So what we'll do, ssh hyphen copy, right? And after that, we have to write our IP address. So we'll say root at client 2. What it says, failed to open .pub. Okay, I think we have not generated a key, so that's the reason it's giving us this message. Now let's try again. Enter the password. Now key is copied. Now let's try to log in on client 2. See, without password we got an access, right? So this feature we use for multiple way in multiple different situation, like for example when you are doing a clustering or when you are installing a cloud, that time you need passwordless login between two systems. So this is a way we do, right? Now the very important thing, what are the parameter get changed and we should not get an access? Let's say example, if you go in dot ssh underscore dot sshd conf file and you have changed the permit root login and you have just disabled it. In which file we have done? In the server file, that is in sshd, right? So this is sshd underscore conf, right? Now we'll restart the service. All right, and now again if we do ssh, we got an access. So what we did, let's cross check. So permit root login is S, right? Now let's change to no. So it will not permit, right? Now we'll restart the service and we'll check again. Now we'll enter the password. It's not allowing us, right? It says permission denied. This reason is very simple, that we have not allowed the root anyone should log in remotely. Then how they can log in? They can log in from other user and they can do the sudo, right? So that is a one way to secure our server. So anytime if we do this, it will not allow the root to access from remote, right? Another is password. So if we disable this authentication password as, so in that situation, it will not allow anyone to log in through the password. It will ask only the key, right? So here, now we'll remove the, because now we did the password authentication, we have commented out. So let's go here and set password authentication to no. So no one can log in through the password. That is what we are saying here. And let's save it and restart the service. All right. And if we try to log in here, by default it will ask for the key because keys already exist, right? Now if we delete the key, if we go in .ssh and remove the public key of slave machine, how will identify which is a public key? One way is that just read the authorized key and here read your public key. It should be the same, right? So we'll keep like this, and here we'll keep like this, and we'll read it again. All right, and here we'll do cat and ssh id dot pub. So this is a key we have copied, right? So we can see here this is the exact key. So just read something from this line and the last line, that is enough. All right, so here if you can see SDP, here we can see the SDP, and here it start with AAA in caps, it start with it. So this is same key, right? Now if we remove this key, RM authorized key, right? So this slave public key we have removed. Now if again slave is trying to log in on the server, see, it's not login. Even it's not asking for the password, it's directly going for the key. Why directly going for the key? Because we have set here don't ask for the password. Now if we go in the file again and we'll just make it password authentication as, now it will ask for password. So if we are getting this message, that means password authentication set to the no. It's only expecting the key. Now it's expecting the, so here we have not restarted the service, so that's the reason change is not reflected. We'll restart it and again we'll try to access the server. It's expecting the password. If we enter the correct password, we can log in. So now we are having both the credential, key is also having and password is also with us. So therefore we can log in through both method, right? But in production environment, we have to make sure our SSHD conf should set in password authentication, yes or no. Based on that, we'll get access from client side. All right. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial.